All right, let's evaluate this limit as x approaches -4. So when x is approaching a specific value with limits, how you always want to begin these is you want to evaluate the given expression at that value for your variable. So in our case, to do that, we're going to replace the x, in fact, both the x's with -4's, and then simplify and see what it tells us. So in this case, as we reduce down, we have -4 squared, or -4 times -4, which will make a positive 16, minus 16 in our numerator, and -4 plus 4 makes 0 in our denominator. All right, further simplifying, we end up with 0 over 0. This actually tells us something about this problem. It tells us keep going. All right, that x minus 4 was a problem in our denominator, so what we'd like to do is eliminate that if at all possible. So as we keep going with this, what we want to do is we want to figure out how to factor the numerator. All right, I think this one's going to factor okay. But because the x plus 4 was a problem in our denominator, what we're looking for is a factor of x plus 4 in our numerator. And this always works out that if we're going to, we said -4 made a 0 in our denominator, it's always x minus whatever that value is going to be a factor. So another way to look at this, instead of x plus 4, is it's x minus a -4, right, is equivalent to that x plus 4. All right, so let's think about what would our other factor be. Well, you may be comfortable factoring x squared minus 16. It's a difference of squares, but you can think of this as x times another x is going to have to go over here to make the x squared the first term. And then positive 4 times -4 is going to create that -16 for our constant term. All right, you could double check this by redistributing FOIL. Sometimes we use as the way to say this to remind us what needs to be multiplied together, but it will give us x squared minus 16. All right, at this point, notice that with our factoring, we end up with a common factor between numerator and denominator. Each one of these includes an x plus 4. So let's go ahead and reduce this down and eliminate the x plus 4's. We're allowed to do that because we're taking a limit here, just getting close to -4. All right, so that leaves us with the x minus 4 from our numerator. And now, to finish this up, we're going to reevaluate this one more time by substituting -4 in for the x. So in x's place, we can put the -4, bring along the -4, and then combine those like terms, we're going to end up with -8. All right, with that, we've ended up with a number we wanted. That's the limit. So I hope this helps out as you're working through evaluating limits.